Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Chronograph reference 26320ST. You can see this 2012 to 2016 model Royal Oak Chronograph in stainless steel with black tapisserie dial on our website. Purchase it there. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this stainless steel Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Chronograph. Now you can see the watch on my wrist has impressively broad stance. In 2012, the traditional Royal Oak Chronograph and Royal Oak Automatic, at the time both 39 millimeters, were upgraded to the 15400 for the automatic and the 26320 that you see here. So 41 millimeter running mates. They bridged the gap between the older 39 millimeter cases and the 42 millimeter offshore. And in many ways, this watch feels more like a thin, fine, compact 42 millimeter offshore rather than the older 39 millimeter watch. And it has the wrist stance to match. So 41 millimeters across the round of the case, not inclusive of crown guards, or pushers. It has more wrist presence than that, as the lug-to-lug dimension of this watch is 52 millimeters if you measure the end of the case to the opposite end of the case. But if you include the rigid outcropping of the bracelet, you'll note these intermediate plots that join the bracelet to the lug hoods. They actually project outward on both sides. They extend the watch to a very robust 55.1 millimeters across the wrist. So again, think of it more as a very flat and cuff compatible offshore chronograph rather than the older 39 millimeter watch scaled up 2 millimeters. It is bigger than that, and it wears bigger than that. The watch is beautifully made though, and as you can see, it is cuff friendly. Only 11.1 millimeters thick. This will slide underneath any dress cuff, not just the jacket, but also the sleeve beneath. The bracelet is beautifully made, and Audemars Piguet bracelets have never been more robust and substantial than they are today, but they have the same degree of finishing quality, such that you can see the step down of the links as they grow smaller and narrower. You can't really feel the steps between the links as you run your finger over them. That's how subtle the tolerances are. You'll also note that the hairline bevel, laid down by hand on the flank of the case, flares out from the mid case and then continues seamlessly down the band of the links, perfectly aligned all the way. The satin finish on the hoods is as perfectly executed as the satin finish on the bezel itself, with small polished intermediate links, and you can see that they're polished at their edge. So as you flex the bracelet, you see those gleaming edges shine like the facets of jewels. The bracelet itself has plenty of gaps to allow the wrist to aerate on a hot day. You can see all that daylight shining through, as well as channels between the links to avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. I always like to emphasize, even though it should be elementary in the super luxury sports watch class, ultra luxury should come with ultra luxury features, and screw fixed adjustable or removable links are what you expect here. Since 2012, the year this 41 came out, Patek Philippe has used pins and sleeves to size its Nautilus bracelet. This is how it's supposed to be done, AP full points. A robust clasp does double deploying, as you can see, low in profile when closed, so this one's not as susceptible to desk diving scarring. You see the AP partition point and twin trigger release. Twin triggers offering far more security than friction fit, and also more robust and frankly more expensive to implement than a cheaper clamshell. This is what I expect to see on a watch of this caliber. Turning the watch back over, you get the same degree of handcrafted metalwork and finish that you see on the bracelet. The metal finish on the exterior of a Royal Oak is what you are paying for. That and the dial quality, we'll get to that in a moment, but you can see how sharp the facets of the case are. The Royal Oak has always done a masterful job of blending a few curved accents with hard, straight lines, rectilinear forms, and angles, and you can see how that continues in the flank of the case as the crease of the bezel is aligned perfectly from bezel to mid-case to case back, giving it that faceted geometry, just like the original porthole of the Royal Navy warship that inspired the original 1972 Gerald Genta Royal Oak. And so too do you have those original white gold bezel bolts, hexagonal and somewhat sunken into the bezel plane, polished and rounded on the flank, flat and satin striated on the top, punctuated by those polished hexagonal white gold bezel bolts. You'll also note that the dial features an immense amount of texture and nuance. Now, stay tuned because there will be a loom shot at the end of this video but it is a tapisserie pattern, and while the Royal Oak Offshore mega tapisserie dials are stamped, these on the Royal Oak chronographs and the automatics are actually created on the original 19th century style pantograph machines that have been crafting these dials since 1972. Now in 2012, with the debut of this generation, AP took all of that equipment and process in-house. So the same pantograph engine is used to cut the dials, it's just done by AP on its own premises. And the texturing of the hobnail dial is incredibly rich, with much smaller undertones of pebbling and grain texture, almost like an eggshell surface in between the hobnails, and also on their tops. There's a lot of detail that begs examination with a loop, so if you own this watch, you are going to want to loop the dial. All of the indices are polished and applied with luminescence, as are the white gold hands at center. Everything that looks like metal on this dial is white gold, and you'll note the attention to detail continues in the mirror-polished inner wall of the bezel itself that beautifully reflects the glinting elements of the indices and the hobnail pattern of the tapisserie. The sub-registers are balanced, as they were before 2017, so between 2012 and 2016 you had this dial style, where the registers were all of symmetrical size, so they were the same diameter. In 2017, for the 20th anniversary of the Royal Oak chronograph, the small seconds dial was shrunken and minimized with less calibration to put the emphasis on chronograph hours and chronograph minutes. This is simply the balanced dial. The imbalanced dial that came out in 2017 will be to the taste of others. It's good that both options exist. Now finally, you have a set of crowns, and this is important to note. For this generation, the 26320, the crowns themselves are actual screw downs. The subsequent 26331 features screw-down look crowns. These are actually screw-down crowns. They both have the same 50-meter water resistant, and functionally they're identical. These are just true screw-downs. Frankly, I trust true screw-downs just a little bit more than non-screw down. For me, if you're going to swim with a 50-meter water-resistant watch, and Audemars Piguet says that's fine, but if you're going to do it, I want to have screw-down security, and this is just more to my taste. Now, what's inside? Well, it is a Frédéric Piguet 1185 prepared by Audemars Piguet. So here's the thing. In the Valet de Jeu, this is about as good as it gets chronograph-wise. Very thin, fine, automatic winding with a 40-hour power reserve, nicely finished to a degree befitting Audemars Piguet's marquee. It features both a column wheel and a vertical clutch. The column wheel for crisp actuation. You can feel it, you can hear it, and that's the alternative to a cheaper cam or shuttle-based system. And then you have the vertical clutch, which means your chronograph seconds hand always starts without jump. And if you wish to leave it running, thanks to the vertical clutch, there's no additional wear or tear. You don't shorten your service interval. You can continue to run your chronograph if you prefer to have hours, minutes, and seconds at center rather than referencing the subdial for constant seconds. There is no quick set. The watch can't be hacked, but it does, or I should say, there is no hacking seconds. It does feature a quick set date, so you can rapidly set the date should the watch run down. It has a 40-hour power reserve and a 3 Hz or 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate. So it is a deluxe integrated slim automatic winding high horology engine for a high horology machine. Beautifully finished, beautifully engineered. You can see this one and own it on our website. Okay, Audemars Piguet Royal Oak chronograph, reference 26320 in stainless steel. Beautifully loomed. See it by the light of day, black tapisserie dial and all, on our website.